All righty. Well, speaking of just things you should know, and really this is about staying intelligent and knowing what is going on in the market. There are a lot of agents that I find can't answer tough questions of how they explain and portray what the market looks like, what's going on in the market, keeping up with trends and so forth. So I thought I'd just provide some tips of just staying on top of things in the market so that you can have those intelligent conversations. Because at the end of the day, if you can have an intelligent conversation, you stand a really good chance at winning out because a lot of agents can't have those conversations. So, first one, Todd, I'm just going to give you props, man. I study your numbers every single Monday. It really kind of helps me understand what's going on in the market. Especially that when you break down. I love the bottom left when you break down days on market by price range. And Ryan Reed and I, we're going to kind of get into managing sellers' expectations, but I know from just a snapshot, if your house is priced in this price range, we can expect the house to be on the market for this long. But obviously, if you're listening right now, kudos to you, and you're on the right path. But you can always, and everybody always has to remember that every single one of our podcasts are uploaded to our West USA YouTube page. So go back, if nothing else, just go back and always listen to the numbers. And then, man, I spent so much time this morning going through making sure I had no typos. I really did, but it's juts. It's not juts. I don't know what a jut is, but I know you'd be happy to if you have a hard time understanding the numbers and to reach out to you and you'd be happy to sit down with people and go, okay, this is what you're looking for. This is how you interpret these numbers.
I can help people do your own market. See, I've always told you guys, make sure your consumers know what they're listening to. If they're listening mostly to television, nationally broadcast syndications, things like that, they're getting government, federal related GDP national news. If you're paying attention to Eller School of Business down in U of A or, the Forbes University up at ASU here, then you're getting typically state data mixed in with state GDP like you would if you're listening to the Cromford Report. Great resources, good things to have. But even my numbers are more global than I would like you to use if you were working with your customers or working in your own social media realm. Have a reason why they don't need to go to Todd. They have to go to you. Find a reason why they don't need to go to somebody else, that you're the person with that data. So, Mike, I'm sorry it took so long in this particular part of it, but what I want everybody to understand is if you'd like to understand real quickly, I mean, literally within 15 minutes, how you can pull these market stats, get almost everything I do, but do it in like 15 minutes a week so that you can have your own on the markets you do business with. Reach out to me. So you're absolutely right, Mike. Call me. I'd be happy to help.
All right. The second one, and this is one that I use, is I use Google Alerts constantly. I'd like to get my real estate news, and I may or may not have one for burgers in Arizona, so I get burger news and things like that. But I love the fact that it gets emailed to me, and every day. Oh,
I got excited.
You got excited about burgers or
no,
Google?
Not about burgers. What about Google Alerts?
So I love having them come into my inbox. Obviously, it has to be your Gmail. And I've spent a lot of time determining my keywords. One of the biggest things I like to keep track of is Arizona jobs and Maricopa County jobs. Because that is some of the best information that I can provide my clients. And just whatever keywords you want to use. And then if you are like, I don't know how to set up Google Alerts. I don't know what you're talking about. It's funny. All you got to do is Google it. Hey, Google, how do I set up a Google Alert?
Google.com/alerts.
Well, I'm going to jump. I got excited, Todd, so I'm just going to go. So it goes back to your point earlier about trying to be as micro community as you can. Using Google Alerts, you can set up alerts around your zip code, your neighborhood, things that are happening around you. The big thing here is the world that we currently live in is algorithm based. A lot of people are scrolling through their phones or looking at social media. A lot of people, unfortunately, are using it as their news source, and they're thinking that is what's actually happening around them, and it's not. It's what your algorithm is portraying to you, which is scary. Google Alerts kind of lets you break through that. You can get actual news organizations sending you articles that are written by human beings, not by AI, and then you can verify that information and you can see, is this a reputable source, is it not? But it's giving you kind of cutting through all of the junk to see what is actually happening. There was a helicopter crash this weekend in California. My wife showed me the video. I first looked at it. I was like, oh, that's an AI video, because there's this new app that's out there that's making all these AI videos. Well, it wasn't, and there was 7 or 8 other people that posted it. But that's a scary thing that we're in. You have to be able to know what is good information before you start having intelligent conversations.
So, part of that also is that, instructing AI and whatever you're using, Gemini, ChatGPT, whatever services you're using, but you can actually have it go out. I've got it going out right now for trust land sales around a particular area that I'm interested in. And so I've got it looking at that every single morning. It reports to me. It goes out, checks all the different sources, planning and zoning, the state trust land auction site, everything. And it reports back, today there's nothing. Oh, wait a minute. There's an interest in this parcel. I mean, it's ridiculous what it can do, but you could have it do those numbers as well.
All right, last one. I don't like to hyper focus on national news, but I think being aware of what's going on in the nation when it comes down to real estate is important. Only because your consumers, all they're reading is national news,
Exactly.
and so when you're up to date on what's going on in the Maricopa County or the Arizona real estate market, just having an understanding of what your consumers might be reading on a national level, and it can compare and contrast and be able to have that conversation. I put, though Arizona is its own bubble, again, it's important to know what's going on in the rest of the country. And a lot of your buyers are going to be moving here from other states, or a lot of your sellers are going to be moving to other states. So being able to have that conversation. And then the other one I didn't put on here, and I can't believe I forgot it, because we use this all the time, especially when we're doing short sales. Not Flex MLS, but if you go to armless.com, the amount of data that you can get broken down by zip code and by county, there's just a lot of data. So my point is, if you just spend some 10, 15, 20 minutes every day going through numbers, going through the news, you're going to become more highly intelligent of an agent.
Yeah, I would just say that the point is valid. You're having to correct what your clients, your consumers are seeing on national news to what's happening in actually Arizona and Phoenix and the markets that you're working in. And so that's why it's very important to know what's happening out there so you can talk about it. And then, like Mike said, if your business is people moving in from a different state, you should know about that state. So it's not a lot of time, 10, 15 minutes a day, just doing a little bit of research. I was able to regurgitate numbers this weekend. Somebody asked me what was going on. Their parents were selling a $2 million house, and it's been sitting for a while. Well, I was able to use the numbers that we talk about all the time about how those things sit a little bit longer, and then I was able to tell them that they're using the wrong agent and they should hire West USA.
So, Mike, I thought I thought the 3-pack today was going to go down a little bit different plan of attack, but I like the fact that you were more global than specific. But at the same token, here's just it real quick. Here's what I recommend. I recommend you go to AAR and sign up for late breaking news. You go to the Department of Real Estate and you sign up for late breaking news. You go to Eller School of Business and it's called Arizona Economy at the U of A. You put that in there and it'll just pop up for you. Sign up for that. They'll send you continued emails about what's going on in Arizona's market from a GDP perspective. Go to NAR and sign up for late breaking news at NAR. They'll keep you informed on any item that's home ownership related or private property rights related that the government is working on. AAR does the same thing if you sign up for Government Affairs Department at AAR as it relates to the state. So that's what I do just as a hello, and then that data comes into my into my dashboard every single time something changes around whatever their newsletters are on. But it continues to pipe in, and I'm able to take that information. To your point, Michael, it's always better to start off than knowing everything. It's always better to start off with a consumer, something along the line of, so Mike, tell me what you're hearing's going on in the marketplace. And then let them tell you, and now you've got your I can't think of the term right now, but you know how to address
So we call it objection handling with our agents, and we teach this regularly. Like, you have to know what's going on, because these are the questions that are going on in people's brains when they're thinking about real estate. And if you are truly their advocate and the person that they go to for real estate knowledge, not just headlines, then you need to be able to know what's going on so you can say, well, actually, that's a headline grab. This is actually the truth about that. And then you're going to set yourself apart amongst
Yeah,
a sea of
it would be
agents.
like, having a doctor and you're going in for something, a major medical procedure, and you find out the last time that your doctor ever read anything about changes to medicine was 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, or you're bringing the WebMD version of what you think you have to the doctor.
Oh, easy now. My wife's got a PhD in WebMD. She's really good with that thing.
Really quick before we jump, because this is a little bit on the topic and not. A lot of agents right now have been posting on the closed groups about, or the state group, sorry, about the new ER. Did you guys know the new ER changed?
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say that maybe AAR didn't do the best job this time of announcing the change, but there still was a bulletin. There still was an announcement. And if you're not paying attention to what's happening at the state and local level for real estate, you're also very much not putting yourself in a good spot to be able to deal with just day to day, not alone talking to your clients.